Alright. Welcome to another episode of Tuesdays with Audi, and I am your host, Audi. Growing up in the Bahamas as the son of an illegal immigrant, there are a lot of financial and life advice you receive from people within the same socioeconomic class as you are that they mean well, but may not necessarily be what's best for you to get out of that situation. Those people tend to be right at the poverty line, below it, or slightly above it, but you can resonate with this whether or not you were at those given levels or even in the middle class. So let's get into some of those financial and life advice that we get from people who mean well, but may not necessarily know how to get out of their situations they don't see beyond the given current conditions that they are in to help us to get out of it. I'm going to talk about the top financial advices I've received from people within poverty that they meant best, but wasn't best for me to get out of that situation. If you resonate with any of these, hit the like button, and if you have anything to add to this, go ahead and share it in the comment as well. But these are just the top 5 that I personally have received. They may be different for you, but let's get into the video and see what are those top 5 financial advices I got from people near the poverty line. And I can't wait to share this with you all, so now let's get into the video. I know we all have heard this one many times, and the very first one that we're going to start off with is, get ready for it, money does not grow on trees. How many times have you heard your parents say that to you when you wanted them to buy you something and they couldn't afford it? While money doesn't grow on a physical tree, but there are a lot of systems that we can put in place that's going to help us to develop some form of a money tree. If you talk to any person who actually rents property to tenants and they get a payment from those given tenants, they may say something different. If you ask any stock market investor, any business owner who has worked very hard and have their business profitable, they will say something different. And that's the thing that most of those people in those given environments don't realize, is that they can develop systems that will definitely plant a money tree for them in the long run. Just as farmers know that when you plant a seed, the seed doesn't grow tomorrow. You have to water it, make sure it gets the proper nutrient, and once you take care of that seed in the early stages and it starts to grow into a full-blown tree, once that tree gets to that point, you can reap the fruits of your labor, literally. And that's what most people do, is that they reap the fruits of the work that they put in and benefit from that money tree that they planted through that system to get them to the given point that they are currently in. So if that didn't resonate with you, let's go into number 2, which is investing is only for rich people. I'm going to tell you this straight up. Investing is very risky, but so are a lot of things that we do on a daily basis. We get out of bed, that's risk. We go in a car and we drive to the places that we have to go, that's very risky. Your parents are likely very active in buying numbers, which we say in the Bahamas, or even buying lottery tickets. Now, that's very risky as well. But investing into companies that produce revenue and also can benefit from getting profits, you as an investor into those given things very well benefit from those given stuff. Now, I'm gonna say for sure that we know with the $100 portfolio that you don't need a lot of money in order for you to start investing in the stock market, which is what I talk about in this given channel. But there are a lot of different avenues that you can invest very little sums into that will benefit you in the long run. You have art, you have real estate, you have, not even gonna say crypto because it's not a crypto channel. You have bonds, you have treasury bonds, you have even in a savings account, even though it's the basic form of investment, that can also assist you by putting your money in a savings account. That's gonna return you with some interest at the end of a given period so that your money can work for you. And for number 3 on this list is to borrow money to buy liabilities. Now, some of us don't know the difference between assets and liabilities, but liabilities are things that I'm going to list off where they tell us to buy. Cars, clothes, shoes, vacations, weddings, and a bunch of different things. But the thing is that most of the time we get the immediate gratification from borrowing the money for us to get those things because we see what the money goes to buy. But if anything that I've learned is that debt is the only closest thing that we have to modern day slavery. And I say this because once you go in debt, you are going to find yourself working and doing something in order to pay off this debt that you may not necessarily like, for you to get an immediate gratification from something that's not going to benefit you in the long term. Be careful of what you borrow money to buy. Buy assets and not liabilities, because liabilities will help you to get returns on that money that you borrowed, while liabilities will only put you in a situation that you may find yourself even more stuck in and not being able to get out anytime soon. So be careful what you borrow money to buy. And that's one of the worst advice that I've received so far. And if that didn't resonate with you, how about number 4? Get a stable and safe 9-to-5 job and don't work on businesses because businesses fail. While everything has risk in it, and I'm not going to tell anybody not to get a job, but you should get a job. but also you should work on something that's going to get you out of that situation, because no job is ever safe or stable. So be aware of staying in a job for the rest of your life, because if you do build a business, even though most businesses do fail within the first 3 to 5 years, but if you do survive and you make it on the other side of it, you will have a money tree in place, literally, that's going to be passed down to your children, and that they can benefit from the hard work that you have done. So get a job, but just know that it's not stable or safe. And you remember that last week we said that during a recession, most people lose their job. So go ahead and look at the video, because you don't want to be one of those people who think that their job is safe and then find themselves without a job and worrying about what their future is going to look like, because you fall under the trap of that jobs are safe and stable. And for the fifth one, which I know I'm going to lose a lot of subscribers, because it's going to be something that a lot of people have done, which is to put all your money in a savings account. Now, while for our parents back in their day, when interest rates were very high and they were getting a very large sum on their savings, today we know that that is not the case for us. Now, I will definitely say keep some money on a savings account, but to put all your money in a savings account, that is not the best thing for us today, especially with the living costs that we are experiencing today. We need to find other vehicles that's going to help us to better our situation. And our parents nugget, they have truth in them. I'm not going to say don't do that one, but you cannot put all your money in a savings account and then hope that it's going to be your wealth generation for you and your kids. So if you have anything else to add to this, go ahead and drop it in the comment. I'd like to see what other financial advice that you've received from people around you and your environment that you feel as though they meant well, but it wasn't what's best for you to get out of that environment and the situation that you find yourself in. So I thank you all for stopping by. Don't forget, hit the like button, subscribe, and share this with anyone who may benefit from it, because each one teach one. I want to help to bring awareness to you so that you do it best with the information and the resources that you have. So with that said, peace, love, enjoyment, deuces. I'm Audi. And until the next one, it's a portfolio update next week, so stay tuned for that and let's see how the market has responded to us and our $100 portfolio. So peace, see you all next week.